This is the biggest harem anime list with the overpowered main character that you need to watch. With the main character's handsome badass appearance and their gifted superpower abilities to stay ahead, it's no surprise that they are surrounded by many harem members who are willing to do anything for their master. Keeping watching this video and don't miss out on this harem anime list. Let's go! Rather than restoring as an adventurer who is unable to use magic, Hiraku's reincarnation has a new purpose, replies to live a peaceful life as a farmer. Hiraku is then transferred to a deep forest that appears far from civilization. He intends to build and farm everything from the ground up, eventually transforming the dead land into a vibrant new society. God blesses him with the almighty farming tool, which not only aids in farming but can quickly transform and work in any condition of Hiraku's will, even for self-defense from monsters. What makes this tale particularly captivating in the realm of harem anime is the predominantly female population of the village. Despite the seemingly peaceful premise, Hiraku continues to fight through all impediments as the core function of the role. However, with his unmatched agricultural prowess and the companionship of the harem members around him, the main character looks forward to savoring his renewed life to the fullest and gradually developing the lifeless area into a thriving new society. The unique harem protagonist is Keima Katsuragi, a high school student who is an unparalleled player in dating sim games. He is known online as the Capturing God due to his skills in capturing the hearts of virtual girls in games. However, his prowess in the virtual world starkly contrasts his real-life apathy and detachment from real girls. Keima Katsuragi essentially acts as an exorcist or spirit hunter. It all begins when a deceptively cute demon girl tricks him into the job, recovering demonic souls that have fled hell and spread throughout the world. For some reason, the most effective way for him to capture spirits is to capture girls' hearts to conquer what he hates the most, the unpredictable hearts of three-dimensional girls. Keima's position as God of Conquest is now being put to the ultimate test, as he must navigate through the hearts of an assortment of female in real world. In recognition of his selfless act of dying for strangers as a heroic moment in his previous life, he has been bestowed with the blessings of 7 pillar gods and reincarnated into another world as the aristocrat family, with unparalleled level 10 abilities in every category. He was given 2 missions: develop the world he reincarnated in and defeat his arch-nemesis Eren. Such immense power rendered Kane the center of the anime's comedic moments, often stemming from his excessive proficiency in any task. He claims he doesn't become smug or abuse it, and wants to live an adventurous life, rather than take political power. Kane's interactions with females are characterized by unintentional charm, leaving them flushed and shy. It is learned that the aristocratic man had lured the girls without his realizing it. In a twist to the reverse isekai genre, the protagonist can move between Earth and a mystical realm. This duality starts after he stumbles upon a portal in his grandfather's secret room and finds out about the door to another world. In both domains connected, he rises to exceptional prowess, averaging a bug system in the appraisal cheat skill, and wielding a powerful sage weapon. It leveled up rapidly after defeating a monster in the deep forest. With each accomplishment, his physical appearance radically transforms, and his destiny shifts 180 degrees from his previous self. As now he has become a very handsome man with a good physique. It should attract the attention of the opposite gender, but he thinks he looks average. His kind mindset remains steadfast in his moral compass and makes him a good person. This blend of virtue and newfound allure simultaneously makes him a figure of desire for women. He also feels depressed when girls flee from him, and this can create an uncomfortable situation. The laziest protagonist suddenly died while playing video games, and reincarnated into another world as a baby again. The goddess gives him a lot of magic power, but this world reveals the measuring crystal only measures 2 digits. Because he was considered weak and a disgrace to the kingdom, he was abandoned in a forest in the frontier region, where he met the Fenrir girl named Flay. she became his first servant and preferred a brute force strategy in combat. On the journey, he met other servants like Lisa. In true form, she is a large blue dragon, and Iris-Philia, the reincarnation of Demon Lord. Haruto must protect his younger sister, Charlotte, who is being threatened by the tyrannical queen of the kingdom, or her biological mother, Giselotti. With the chicanery plots stirring in the kingdom, he holds immense power and hatred towards his enemies, and is willing to keep the family that took him in safe, even killing them if they threaten his peaceful life. Summoned to Another World for a second time is a unique isekai anime that depicts what happens to an isekai hero after they complete their quest. Setsu Suzaki is exiled back to Earth after he falls into a trapped dimension, returning to his original world and going to start a new life again. Years later, the realm summons him back, while his classmates train as beginner heroes of Distinia Kingdom, at war with the demons after 5 years of peace. Zetsu was a typically overpowered isekai hero, and was forcibly regained this title and all of its benefits upon his return. It was all due to get the popularity of the previous reincarnation. The main character has multiple female characters interested in him, but he doesn't actively seek out romantic relationships, and they reveal her secret masochistic attraction to him. It tells the story of a Kane private academy, where students have memories of their previous lives and are trained to use their powers as saviors to fight monsters called metaphysicals that brutally and indiscriminately attack humans. The main character of this anime is the weakest student, Moroha Haimura, who still needs to remember his memories from the past, and his powers still need to appear. Even though he was denigrated as the loser one, after fighting in simultaneous attacks with the students, he awakened to use the power of the reincarnation of the hero, the swordmaster and prince of a small country, and the reincarnation of the dark witch from the netherworld. Successfully gaining two very crucial powers, the robust Moroha's energy attracts one of the strongest female students, who is connected to the power obtained from his reincarnation. Moroha's plans for a peaceful school go up in passionate fire when his harem squad vies for his attention, and matters only worsen when metaphysicals come. The main character was a cross-reverie player who controlled the character Diablo. No one rivals the might in this MMORPG game genre, but behind Diablo's fearsome persona lies Takuma Sakamoto, an introverted gamer lacking social prowess in real life. Immersed in his gaming world, Takuma conquers insurmountable odds daily until an unexpected summoning magic thrusts him into a different realm, taking on Diablo's visage. He finds himself invoked by two young women who accidentally fall into an enchantment due to the effect his ring's ability that bound them to him as his slaves. However, his true personality is that of an introvert who has problems in conversation with women. The world's most formidable hitman had pledged unending allegiance to the group that nurtured him. In a twist of fate, this group seeks to silence him, causing his untimely end. Overwhelmed with regret and despair, he catches the attention of a goddess impressed by his unparalleled abilities. This goddess proposes his rebirth into a wondrous realm of swordplay and sorcery with a vital task. Due to his past life and present world experiences, he is very wise thanks to that, although he sometimes overestimates to manipulate any person and gain their trust. Accepting the new fate, he is reborn as Lug Tuatha De, a scion of the Alvan Kingdom's aristocratic lineage of assassins. Under his father's guidance, Lu acquires assassination skills distinct from the emotionless, calculated methods of his past existence. His innate abilities also flourish, leading him to forge bonds with new comrades. Surrounded by his female partner, he can be a little dense regarding women's feelings towards him, mistaking their affection for admiration. After realizing that, Lug uncharacteristically got angry at anyone who approached them in the wrong manner. Ryo, the protagonist, seeks vengeance for his mother's murder, but undergoes a transformation when he recalls memories of his past life as Amakawa Haruto, a victim of a bus accident in Japan. Their memories and personalities fuse, blending Ryo and Haruto into one entity. Realizing Ryo's exceptional abilities, such as saving a princess from kidnappers, underline his overpowered nature in various situations. In gratitude, he's admitted to the Beltrum Kingdom Royal Institute. Later, Ryo journeys to his ancestral land in the Far East to understand his roots and inner peace. His natural action draws the attention of multiple female characters ranging from commoners to princesses. Following the story of a new student named Kokono Toru, who enrolled in Kuryu Academy. This school trains its students to harness their abilities to become security forces. The students are injected with Lucifel to use the power of the blaze, a weapon whose shape matches their soul. Although most students manifest their blazes as powerful weapons, Toru's ability manifests as a shield. Other students underestimate him because his attack power will be too weak to defeat the enemy. This irregular blaze catches the attention of a foreign student, Julie Sigtuna, a silver-haired girl from Scandinavia. They decided to assign partners and share a room as the absolute duo. After going through various battles, his goal switches from avenging his sister to becoming the strongest warrior so that he can protect his companion. He obtains the level 4 sublimation, which is Aegis Desire. It even became a hot topic for the female students in the academy and can often accept others' faults without much trouble. It is undeniably a mixed bag, but Classroom for Heroes has so far slipped under the spotlight. Rosewood Academy accepts pupils who want to be young heroes training to achieve supremacy and help defend the world when needed in the future. A new transfer student called Blade comes with a recommendation from the king in this magic academy. Blade is a carefree male transfer student whose primary goal at Rosewood Academy is to make many friends with his classmates. On the surface, Blade appears to be an ordinary young man, but he is hiding a terrible secret that began long ago, after the defeat of the Demon King. He joined this new class where the majority was close to him. They were female students journeying toward becoming full-fledged heroes. At the same time, the king asks her to supervise Blade and resolve all issues around the academy. In the vast world of roaming creatures, a select few ultimate species are revered for their unparalleled strength and magical capabilities. Such rare power leads many humans to desire their talents, causing some creatures to face extinction. Rainshroud, a beast tamer, harnesses the assistance of various creatures for diverse assignments from scouting to transportation. Rain is busy and continues to do the work, but the job is not important. He becomes part of a group led by the malicious and manipulative hero, Arios Orlando. Yet after 6 months, he's dismissed due to his perceived limitations in a non-combat role. They were playing mindlessly, and Rain stood out from other beast tamers, a fact unknown to the group that rejected him. On his journey as a solo adventurer, he successfully formed a contract with the ultimate species. Despite his newfound positions of power, he stays humble and appreciative of the various girls he contracts with. He transforms into the hero he wishes to be, with the strength to fight against the threats disturbing his purpose. Demon Lord Varvatos had attained the pinnacle of human potential, and was so powerful that the rest of humanity began to refer to him as the Demon Lord, both fearing and respecting his overwhelming power. Varvatos decides to reincarnate 3,000 years later as Ard Meteor, the son of a seemingly ordinary couple in a rural town, hoping that his fate will change in his next life. With his newfound reputation as a handsome student at the Academy of Magic and his overpowered abilities, it's easy to get girls to fall in love with him. It creates a fierce love rivalry between Irina and Ginny, to compete for special attention from the main character. He realizes that even after weakening himself, his strength still dominates this era. With limited access to quality information about magic knowledge, worst of all this decision, it will be connected with all relationships in his previous life, and has begun to complicate him in the most unexpected ways. Ichiro Suzuki, an adult programmer, is overburdened and high job demands. Exhausted due to working long hours, he eventually has a chance to catch up on sleep, only to wake up in a fantasy RPG world that is a mashup of the games he was debugging in reality. In this new location, he notices that not only has his appearance changed to that of a younger version of himself, but his name has also changed to Sato, a nickname he used while running game beta tester. Before Sato can fully comprehend his situation, he gains a high level and treasures after using the 3 times disposable magic, and his level is increased to maximize his stats. Watch our overpowered main character march around the fantasy world, meeting 3 beast girls, saving little girls from slavery, and adding more harem to his journey. Ayato Amagiri, a scholarship student at the elite Saidukan Academy, inadvertently sees the renowned witch of resplendent flames, Julis Alexia von Riesfel, in a compromising state and challenges him to a fight for disturbing on her privacy. So there was a great uproar. Ayato clarified he was not interested in Festus, but was searching for his missing elder sister. Although he looks won effortlessly, he exhausts much energy against mystery raids who treat the elite students in the academy. In a short time, Ayato becomes the strongest candidate and the most talented Ganistella. The Asterisk War does have some romantic elements and features a main male character who interacts with several female characters. The show offers minimal fan service and a decent plot, emphasizing the characters' budding trust and a well-crafted tournament arc. 7 sins are bestowed upon 7 girls who rule the Royal Babilia Academy, known as the Trinity 7. To reclaim his world, the protagonist, Arata Kasuga, decides to master these sins and spend time together to bolster their power and skill. His world is affected by a mysterious phenomenon, and his cousin Hijiri disappears into another dimension. He enrolled at the Royal Babilia Academy to understand this phenomenon and bring back his cousin. Arata becomes a magician, acquainted with the 7 strongest female magicians, and becomes a magus. In Trinity 7, Arata gets along well with his harem, mainly because each girl in his harem embodies a different typical anime character. Nonetheless, he remains steadfast in his primary objective, and desperately tries hard to hide his true identity as a demon lord candidate. A 25-year-old man is suddenly reincarnated into another world as a 6-year-old boy. To make matters more challenging, his new family is on the poverty line and living in the countryside. Wendelin von Benno Baumeister was born as the 8th son of the current lord of a backwater territory. It's getting clearer that he will not receive the family title or property. Due to his reading abilities, the protagonist soon discovers that he is a sorcerer with an exceptional talent and a high aptitude for magic, which provides him an opportunity for a better life in his new existence. Now, with his knowledge as a salaryman and newfound magic, Wendelin embarks on a quest to find his path in this new world. As the story progresses, the protagonist, Wendelin, gets involved with multiple female characters, some of whom develop feelings for him. Support his basis with detailed harem member, he has 20 mistresses, fiancés, and a devoted wife. Akuro-sai transfers to Constant Magic Academy, where he has a dream to make the world a better place, and become a high priest for the benefit of society. When good property turns bad in his fate and creates a complicated situation, the main character is prophesied that symbolizing his role as the Demon King. As word of his fate spreads, the school begins to fear him, and a close confidant of Akuto's faith begins to disappear. He is surrounded by a harem of beautiful girls, each with their plan for him, which ranges from bringing him to justice while others want to exploit his demonic potential. With his newly awakened powers, Akuto must deal with his ever-growing list of misfortunes while fighting to prove that his fate is not predetermined. As the series progresses, the girls become evident that whatever they intend to manipulate him, they also unintentionally fall in love with him. Ayumu Aikawa is a high school boy who gets killed while investigating a suspicious house-like serial killer. He is later resurrected by a necromancer named Eucliwood Hellscythe. After being resurrected, Ayumu becomes a zombie with superhuman strength and immortal character. Ayumu inadvertently becomes a magical garment girl, after absorbing the powers of a magical girl named Haruna. This results in comedic situations where he transforms into a frilly magical girl outfit to fight off with other creatures from the underworld. Throughout the series, Ayumu becomes associated with several female characters. As typical of the harem genre, there's plenty of comedic tension and interaction stemming from these relationships. Follows the daily adventures of a human-turned-zombie as he begins his new, bizarre life, in which the supernatural has become the norm. brought back to life by a god mistake and given miraculous powers through the smartphone he holds. Its capabilities to becomes a significant tool due to its varied functionalities, like accessing information, using maps and casting spells. Tuya embarks on a journey in the new world. Toya Mochizuki discovers that he has been granted immense magical abilities by God, making him extremely powerful and able to master any magical discipline easily. He has an attraction for cute girls competing for his attention. Throughout his journey, Tuya meets various women who become his companions and develop romantic feelings for him. And among women is increasing throughout his adventure. The storyline takes place in a magical universe and the military uses supernatural powers as weapons. The Anti-Magic Academy is a school that trains and educates students to become inquisitors, who specialize in fighting against deviant behavior of magical threats. Takeru Kusanagi, one of the disciples who cannot use guns at all, and can only fight as a swordsman. Therefore, he becoming the leader of the 35th Test Platoon, a group whose members were all women who failed their training exams, and consistently being underestimated by others. Despite his complicated past, Takeru remains the last surviving member of the Kusanagi clan, and one of the only remaining blade users in the world. Since Takeru could activate Relic Eater, his abilities would suddenly increase in leaps and bounds, so that he could awaken his potency magic and knowledge of swordplay to interact with each other fully. Set in a near-future world, an accidental experiment conducted at a research facility affects the brains of all humans, allowing them to perceive extra-dimensional beings called phantoms. Some children born after the outbreak have extraordinary powers, and are placed in clubs and organizations that deal with harmful nuisances or threats to humanity. The story revolves around Haruhiko Ichijo, a first-year high school student at Hosea Academy. His teams are composed of women who all have special abilities that allow them to seal away these phantoms. Their daily life is encounter various phantoms, each bringing unique challenges. The team must collaborate using their respective abilities to solve the problems posed by these entities and seal them away. The story revolves around Basara Tojo, a high school student who suddenly finds himself with two new stepsisters after his father remarries. However, these aren't ordinary siblings. His younger sister, Mio Naruse, is the daughter of the previous demon lord, while the elder sister and Maria Naruse is a succubus of Mio Naruse's guardian. They soon lives in the Tojo household and use their connections to the demon realm to seize every opportunity to go against Basara. But the tables are turned due to certain events, and Basara, ex-member of the hero clan and their older brother, suddenly becomes their protector in fights against dangerous enemies. It turns the story into a blend of action, supernatural elements, and ecchi moments, when they follow a contract that approaches the vow state, enhancing the power between master and servants. Due to the nature of the master-servant contract, there are moments is accidentally formed between Basara and Mio to ensure loyalty and binding their souls together. Throughout the story's progress, the main character Issei has developed many relationships, both within the occult research club and the three factions. He starts working harder, inching ever closer to that dream of having a harem and becoming a harem king. Issei Hyudu starts as a typical pervert high school student who dreams of having his own harem. After being killed on his first date and resurrected as a devil by Rias Gremory, the most beautiful girl in his school, he becomes part of her peerage, a group of devils serving under a high-ranking devil, and recruiting him into the school's occult research club. He acquires tremendous powers that make it immensely powerful by activated dragon abilities. His boosted gear allows him to double his power every 10 seconds, leading to exponential increases in strength during battles. Naofumi Iwatani, summoned to a fantasy world as the supposedly weak shield hero, is wrongfully accused and kicked out by his party. Stripped of everything, he begins a quest for justice, relying on his intelligence and strategy due to his primarily defensive abilities. Along the way, he forms alliances and has several girls in his adventuring party, but this is far from the wish fulfillment a fan service harem element might expect. The only nod to the majority isekai harems is the demi-human girl named Raphtalia on Naofumi, but she adores him deeply as his first companion and loyal friend. Following an adventure of the shield hero and his quest to save the day from multiple waves of monsters, he can't do it alone. Naofumi used his wits and ingenuity to effectively fight with new party members to aid him on his quest. He formed a solid group that was willing to sacrifice his life to save each other and gave us peace of mind for the future. In the depths of a perilous labyrinth, Hajime Nagumo, a regular high school student, is betrayed by a classmate and plummeted into its deepest levels. Once weak after bullied, Hajime survives mocked for only gaining an inferior transmutation skill, consuming monsters and assimilating his strengths. Emerging comes back as an overpowered warrior, Hajime vows to escape this world one day and resolves to fight for his survival. As he traverses dangerous terrains, he rescues and befriends several captivating women, each with unique powers and background storyline. Together, in this mix of action and romantic tension, the group aims to conquer challenges while navigating the intricate dynamics of a growing harem around the immensely powerful Hajime. Ichika Orimura stands out a position as the only guy with the aptitude to maneuver the infinite STRATOS, a potent mecha suit typically piloted by females. He's admitted to the Infinite Stratus Academy, though surrounded by a female-centric environment and aspiring to become an IS pilot. Ichika initially presents himself as unskilled, leading many of the women to undervalue his capabilities. Preferring to keep a low profile, he conceals his true skills, always prioritizing the safety of those dear to him. In terms of gear, Ichika frequently operates Byakushiki, which is specifically designed closed form with a white gauntlet. This attire aligns seamlessly with his unique capabilities, and it's loaded with an array of formidable weapons like energy sabers, automatic guns, and rockets launcher. In other side, the main character does have a natural interest in women, but gets nervous and smiles awkwardly around them. To be honesty, this anime is the kind you need to watch and doesn't disappoint in harem history. The main protagonist of this story, Shido Itsuka, is a student from Raisin High School. He was adopted into the Itsuka family when he was abandoned by his mother. He has a strange power that allows her to seal the spirit's power in her body. The seal will only work if the spirit has enough trust or affection for him to allow it. Forced to join the Ratatosker to help and prevent the spacequake from occurring, he must seal the spirit's powers with a kiss so they can coexist with the fate of humanity. During times like these, Shido has often needed the advice and emotional support of those closest to him to reopen their path and lost memories connected to each other. The Eminence in Shadow is the most self-indulgent isekai anime in 2022. The main character only wants power and spares no effort in dedicating himself to that goal, but all powers are unlocked by the human limitations. After reincarnation, he got his wish and became the most powerful being alive. Chid Kageno was glad he recalled knowledge from his past life and performed it in his new body, to improve his skills to influence the darkness of society. Chid was the strongest magician and the leader of the secret organization Shadow Garden, used an alias, Shadow. This organization is surrounded by a cadre of powerful and loyal female followers who had been training into powerful warriors. Each member of Shadow Garden is not only deeply devoted to Chid, but also brings their unique strengths and backstories that they had been persecuted for having the symptoms of demon possession. The enigmatic attitude will be the benchmark of powerful leader, even if much of that reputation is built on supernatural luck and the greatest imposter in isekai anime story.